What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm your host, as always, Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. Obviously, and before we start today's interview, make sure you guys subscribe down below. We got a really special guest with us here today, another UFC fighter who has an upcoming fight December 15th against Sergio Pettis, who's going to be making his bantamweight debut, and there's no one better to welcome him in than Mr. East Coast Zone, Rob FOnt. What's going on, Rob? How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I mean, first off, I got to say, what a wild couple of weeks it's been just for MMA fans, MMA fighters in general. First, before we even get into your fight or anything, I have to ask you, what did you think about the McGregor-Khabib fight?
Obviously, it was entertaining. You can't deny that. Obviously, he was also wrong at the same time. So we got the line between his criminal and all that. I don't think it'll be that bad for the sport, but definitely can't happen again. But it was a wild day, wild Saturday.
Well, even outside of what happened after the fight, what did you think was going to happen during the fight? I mean, did you expect the results that happened? Were you picking Khabib in this fight, or how did you really see the fight going down before we got into the meat and potatoes of things?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to see Conor pull it off, but that's Khabib, man. He does that to everybody. So once he wears you down, man, it's real hard to get up. He has a clear system and game plan for what he wants to do, and he gets it done every single time. So it's tough to he's a problem for anybody. But I definitely saw that happen. But I didn't want to see it, but definitely saw it happening.
So what do you think is going to happen next for Khabib? Would you want to see the rematch, or do you want to see Tony Ferguson? Are you going to, it's hard to even think about it.
I'd rather see the Tony Ferguson fight than a rematch. I don't think Conor should take a rematch. That was a clear cut, saying victory. He just got dominated the whole time. I think Ferguson will be a interesting matchup. He's got a wild style. You see, even when he gets hurt, he comes back. He finishes fights. I think people forget he's a wrestler. So, he definitely has a strong wrestling background. He's and he's no slouch on the ground. So if Khabib does get him down, you can see him. I can see him laying in some elbows and throwing up some triangles and platters and all that, and kind of being a threat down there. So definitely want to see that Ferguson Khabib fight.
So obviously your fight with Sergio just was announced a couple of days ago. It really wasn't that long ago that this fight was announced, and Sergio recently fought. Were you able to catch his fight, and what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, it sucked. He wanted to keep standing and do his thing, but he just kept getting taken down and getting out of position. He kept losing in the scramble, which just sucks. It's frustrating. I know all about that. I lost my last fight the same exact way, so it's tough. But it's good for him to come back up to 35. It's probably I know it's got to be hard to get down to 25. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I think we both have similar striking styles, and it's going to be a great matchup.
You know what? Did you think he was going to move up to 130? I mean, bantamweight. I mean, how do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to do better at this weight, since he's not going to be depleting himself, like you kind of just hinted towards? He's not going to have to make that weight cut. It can go one of two ways. How do you think it's going to go for him?
Well, this is not his first time fighting at 35. He's made his debut in the UFC at 35. I believe he fought a while though.
And he was really hot. Like when he first came into the UFC, he was really hot and cold. I felt like he was shined a lot at the lower weight class, which is, I'm really interested to see him come back.
Yeah. So, obviously he's not gonna have to worry about the weight cut. But then again, like I've known guys that moved up a weight, gained weight, and still had to cut 10, 12 pounds. So it's kind of like, obviously it's not the same cut 25, but it could be, It it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. We'll find out. But I'm not too worried about him and his his weight cut and all that. So.
Well, that's what I got to ask you, man. You've been in the UFC for the past couple of years now, and the big story, I remember when you debuted in the UFC, you had like a regular job, like an everyday Joe job. I mean, at that time, let's rewind really quick before we get into the meat of things, because I have a lot to ask you about, the fight that's coming up in December. But I want to get into the mindset of where you were at during the time before you became the big star inside the UFC, or even the CES featherweight champion. You were working at like a pizza place, right?
Yeah, so I was in Florida. So I was in Florida around 2000, I believe, like 9, and that's when I first started training. And honestly, long story short, my girlfriend was like, "Listen, if you think you can do this, quit your job and you just train full time." And she hired me as strength and conditioning coach. I got my obviously I had my team, everybody I was training with, and just started taking some amateur fights from that point on. But it was that simple. I just felt like we could do this. She felt like we could do it. I just jumped into the gym, kept training.
That's special, man, because a lot of people, even when they're in the UFC, they don't have their family behind them. They're like, you should literally think about a safety net. How does your family feel about it? I know you got a lot of support from your girlfriend.
I got that from everybody. Honestly, the only one that really, 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 everybody says they believe you, but they're all fucking lying.
Yeah.
The only one that really, really believed me was, actually my girlfriend Catherine. So she was the only one that really, all right, let's do it. She could, I guess, she might, just appear like she just obviously loves me and she's biased and all that, but she's the only one. And then, like I said, I haven't worked since 2009. It was just straight training.
There's so many people out there that, chase their dreams, whether it's in the UFC or football or even young kids in middle school. When people don't get behind them, it's like, all right, get in line, work, the regular job. And even UFC fighters now, they're still having a hard time doing it. Obviously, are you still with this girl that, supports you? What got you mentally boosted?
So she's upstairs right now.
What do you do to keep yourself motivated? Because obviously everyone faces setbacks, whether it's, a fight that you lost, or even, some family issues, or your car getting totaled. How do you keep so positive? Because you keep moving forward. They keep matching up with these big guys. I mean, listen, let's even jump to this. I mean, they matched up with Thomas Almeida. That was like a point in Thomas Almeida's career. Just to be honest, I felt like they were trying to get him back on track. And then here you are, man. And I'm even showing highlights of the fight right now. How did you feel? Did that motivate you more? Did you realize that Thomas Almeida was stepping in to try to get back on track and you were going to put an end to it? How did you feel during that time?
Yeah, I just knew, like, if I put my hands on this kid, it's over. Like, you saw it. I hit him with one straight right hand. He was on clear street. So, and that's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I really believe if I hit a clean shot on anybody in the 35 division, I'm gonna put him away. I just gotta get the setup to be a little quicker and a little better. But I knew I could put away these guys. I feel like I could put away anybody in that division. But especially Thomas Almeida, you see, he gets touched, he goes down. Like, not even like you saw with Cody. He goes out. So it's with that matchup, I loved it. It was at home. I do real good with the taller striker, and that was just my night.
How much does the mental go into it? You hear all these people talking about Conor McGregor's game plan, and you know what I mean? Like, the mental aspect of it has a lot to do with how you perform in the fight. Going in there with someone like Thomas Almeida, obviously one of the bigger names when he first came into the UFC, everyone was rooting for him. Like, Kenny Florian was always picking for him. I mean, what was it like mentally getting ready for that fight?
Just more of a belief in myself instead of like worrying about anybody else. That's all. You got to believe in yourself, and the matchup, the name doesn't really matter. You got to know that they can put Godzilla right in front of you, and you're still going to come out on top. So it doesn't really matter who the name is. I don't pay attention to the name, and just do me, and I just try to go out there and have fun and do me, and let my hands go.
Well, right now you got 2 Performance of the Night bonuses, so it's like you're on a roll right now. What was it like to get the second Performance of the Night bonus, and what did you do with the money that you got from that? That's got to be a huge relief on your part.
Yeah, it's simple. Just gave it back to my girlfriend and helped out the family.
Oh, she probably loved that.
Yeah, of course. Just giving back and put a little bit of money into the bank. But yeah, nothing crazy.
What's your future plan here? Do you guys got a house? I mean, are you trying to build a family? Do you have kids right now?
So
Where you
actually, we actually just closed on a townhouse in last in May.
Are you going to stay around here on the East Coast? Obviously, you're training out Lausanne.
Yeah, I'm out here in Mass now, so I'm definitely here for sure.
What's it like training with Joe? I mean, he's such an OG in the game. You probably watched him growing up. You're only 2 years older than me, so you're probably sitting at home on your couch watching Joe on the TV just like I was. What was it like meeting him for the first time?
Joe's a man. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's real laid back. He's a real, low key type of guy. Just wants to get in, get the job done, and have fun while we do it. And I can ask him anything inside the cage, but most importantly outside the cage. As far as like the mental game or dealing with losses or financial stuff or whatever. How to like make things smoother with coaches or how to approach getting sponsors or whatever. I can ask him anything outside the cage, and then inside the cage he's been there, done it. He's got knockouts, he's got submissions, he got TKOs. So
he's like one of the leaders for performance of the night bonuses.
Exactly. He knows how to put. He knows how to go in there and put it on the line. He's lost. And it sucks that he lost, but he's lost a couple of fights. So he's got a lot of knowledge. And I do believe in those losses you learn a lot. So he's learned a lot, and like I said, he's just passing that on to me. So I'm soaking it all in.
I want to circle back around to Joe's gym because I have a couple more questions there before we talk about your fight. But I want to kind of branch off to what you're just talking about because Bobby Gunn just messaged me, obviously a bare knuckle boxing legend here, and he was wondering how do you get sponsors? He's looking to get sponsors on his shorts. What would you recommend? What do you think is a good idea for him to do to get some money here for sponsorship?
Honestly, keep it basic and go first with the friends and family that that own businesses and the local shops, your local pizza shop, where you get your hair cut, the barber shops, wherever, the local mom and pop setups and actual local businesses. Hit those guys up, that they'll support the local guys. And then, obviously whoever you can contact with through, your team or even the internet.
Would you like to see the UFC even allow just having one sponsor per fighter just to throw on their shorts, even if it's just a small logo or something? Do you think that would help the fighters out a lot more?
Yeah, of course. Any type of extra money or exposure you can get, working with the sponsors is always going to be helpful and help out in the end,
Oh, of course. Well, listen, I want to circle back to Joe's gym there. There's a lot of up-and-comers. I mean, I go to all these local shows. I go to all the bigger shows. But the most interesting part is seeing these young up-and-comers switch over from amateur to pro. And right now, I've had my eye on Fabio Charant. Have you been able to, get in touch with him over at the gym?
Yeah, he's a man.
Yeah, right?
He's mad. He's low-key. He comes in, gets his job done, and he's one of those guys that really enjoys training and having fun while he's doing it. So, definitely keep a lookout for him. But, he's a big boy that loves to put his hands out there, and especially if he gets around your neck, it's pretty much over.
Well, listen, you were in the same position that he was in, fighting over at CES. I mean, over at the Twin Pines Casino. It's always a blast to be there. But what was the biggest difference fighting from CES and walking, over to the UFC, walking out, smelling the popcorn and beer there, compared to smelling the KFC and Taco Bell at CES?
That KFC and Taco Bell. Yeah, no, honestly, it's not a big difference. CES is they've been doing this for a while. They really know how to put on a show. So everything in the back, from the back room, is a professional. They do it right, just like the UFC. When you get out there, the production, everything they've been doing it right. So it wasn't that big of a change. Obviously, the arena's bigger, but besides the arena and the lights, nothing's changed.
So
yeah, they really huge shout out to CES. They really put it together.
Would you like to see the UFC do more intricate walkouts for the main event? Remember UFC 189 when they had Sinead O'Connor sing Connor out and then Aaron Lewis sing Chad out? Wouldn't that be awesome to have in every big pay-per-view? Because it's even more of a reason to tune in. It's a live performance.
Yeah, I would say yes, but I wouldn't want to see more than the main event.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, just one. Or just just the main event, just one fight. But anything else would be kind of ridiculous. But yeah, definitely just one. Maybe not even that. Maybe just like one every like
Big
4 or 5.
pay-per-view, yeah.
Or 2 every pay-per-view, you know.
So listen, you debuted in 2014. You're on a huge card that night. I mean, making the transfer over the UFC. You had Chris Weidman fighting that night, Ronda Rousey, and you even had an amazing fight against Roop. What was that like that first night? Did it seem surreal, or did it just feel right? I mean, how do you explain that night in a nutshell?
I think you said it perfect. It just felt right. Everything that week, I just felt ready. You know, I asked all my coaches, I was like, I'm going in to knock this guy out. I'm going in there just swinging, ready to knock him out. And exactly what we did, you know. But yeah, it was great, man. It was the first time out in Vegas. It was 4th of July weekend, you know, that whole international fight week. So there's a whole bunch of cards. I got like I said, there's a whole bunch of people on that card. I got to like meet, you know, Weidman, Rousey, BJ Penn was out there, Machida, a whole bunch of people, Faber. A whole bunch of fighters out there. You know, a bonus king. I was never complain about that, and you know, we got the knockout, so it was great. My debut couldn't have went any better.
So before we end today's interview, I got like 3 more questions for you. Between 2014 and 2016, there was a big gap there. You were trying to get fights, people kept falling out, or whatever was happening. What was it like being out for 2 years, then stepping back in the octagon? What was the biggest thing that, you know, you had to overcome there? Or was there no ring rust? Because, like, I personally don't know if I believe in ring rust. What was it like for you?
Yeah, honestly, like I said, you can go back and look at any of the interviews I did before and after that fight, and I was saying it. Like, I don't really believe too much in the ring rust.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're prepared properly, you're fine. It's all reaction. Now, how you deal with getting in the ring, that's different. You know, like how the emotions of the fight week and getting there and doing the walkout and all that. Like if you're an emotional guy and you go up and down with that, and you have to be able to fight a lot to get used to doing that, then that might be an issue. But as far as fighting and doing your thing, I don't believe in ring rust.
So listen, let's get towards the end of this interview. I gotta circle back to your fight with Sergio Pettis. How did the UFC reach you? How did you find out about this fight and accept it?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
How did you find out that you're going to be fighting Sergio? Did they give you a couple options, or did Sergio just come through and you were like, that sounds perfect? You know.
Honestly, his coach Duke Rufus put out a post about Sergio and his last fight, and how he wanted him to move up to 35. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure you interviewed Mitch Raposo, right?
Yeah, I was just taking a walk with Mitch the other night. Yeah.
Yeah. So my man Mitch sent it to my manager Tyson. And listen, I think this would be a great matchup for Rob. And Tyson obviously thought the same thing and just emailed Sean. I don't know exactly how it went, but the next day we had the contract, and it worked out.
Really quick, I don't want to sidetrack from the fight, but what do you think about Mitch Raposo? The kid's only 19 years old. Can you believe this kid?
Yeah, no. So you ask him, like the first time I seen him, I met him. You can ask him. He was shadowboxing. I came up to him, introduced myself. I was like, whatever. What's your name? Blah blah blah. Like I instantly, I saw him shadowboxing. I knew he was good. I was like, well,
he's got
fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I gotta go. I'll give you some rounds in with you. And it was like most gyms, you come in, you do a round, and you get a new partner. I did 3 back to back with him. I was like, I gotta go again with him. He's too quick. He's too smooth. He's too. I do believe he's one of the best well-rounded amateurs in the Northeast.
Oh my
ever,
God.
really, ever. He's one of the best amateurs out here for sure, hands down.
He just went pro. How do you think he's going to make the transfer to pro, man? He looked phenomenal the other night. I talked with him, man. He just has this it factor about him. Even Mikey Kimball. I was hanging out with Mikey Kimball the other night too. Both these guys, man, just CT 203, Mitch Raposo, obviously from the East Coast up there, out where Amarillo.
Man, we got a lot of young bucks coming up out here in the Northeast. You said Mikey Kimball,
yeah.
Mitch. Don't forget my man Randy Costa. He's fighting soon. So like I said, we got a lot of young guys coming up, and I'm excited to get to work with these guys.
Listen, I sounded like a fool the other night. People were tweeting me because I literally said, I guarantee you guys that Mitch Raposo will be in the UFC by 2020. Do you see that happening?
I know it's happening.
Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah,
he
I
has
know
it.
for a fact it's happening.
He's got the it factor, man. It's just everything about him, even outside of just the fighting, like his whole attitude, his entire just he's just got it. Whatever it is, he's got it. And that's what makes big in this game. Do you think, promotions in 2018 are putting more of a pressure on fighters to promote themselves more? I mean, it's kind of a given, but it's kind of like they're asking for a little extra. Do you see that?
Yes and no. I think it's all on you. I don't think they're gonna press it, but if you don't press it, they're not gonna press it.
Yeah.
Either, they're not gonna push you as much as you want to push yourself. But definitely the way you gotta get out there as much as possible. And obviously the young boys they're doing it right. I think Mitch is really promoting himself right. I think he's with the right team, and he's gonna go far.
So we are literally one day under 8 weeks out right now from your fight for UFC on Fox 31 going down December 15th. What are you going to be up to during now and then? I mean, how does this fight camp look? Where are you going to be going? Are you going to be cross-training? What's the schedule look like?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know I want to go somewhere for at least a week just to kind of break it up. I'm not sure exactly where, but we're definitely, obviously we're going to be wrestling a lot. Same old as far as the home schedule. But it's going to be a lot of sparring with quick kickboxers and a lot of wrestling. But eventually, I got to get out somewhere. I'm not sure where. It might be Vegas again. Maybe go to Canada. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go somewhere.
Before I ask you what everybody can expect before they tune into your fight, I got a fan question coming in for you from Scott Kenyon on Twitter. He says, Eddie, ask Rob Font, as he's known as Brazilian Killer, does he fancy a rematch with Munoz or Lineker after he fights Pettis? What do you have to say to that?
Of course, any L's I would love to get a rematch with, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. But of course, that'd be huge.
All right, last but not least, what can everybody expect when they tune in December 15th to UFC on Fox 31 when they see you, Rob Font, go up against Sergio Pettis? What are they going to witness?
Yeah, it's gonna my head down, throwing punches, looking for the knockout. Man, I'm just gonna bite down, go forward, put my hands on this guy. I'm looking for the KO, and I'm looking for that bonus. It's that simple.
There you go, guys. Rob Font joining us here on Pure EVil MMA. Rob, I want to thank you so much. It's such an honor for you to come on my show. Me and you were actually talking before we went live. It's so crazy that you haven't been on Pure EVil MMA yet. Like, it literally boggles my mind how we haven't connected yet. And I'm so happy that you're able to join us tonight. And I'm really looking forward to your fight coming up December 15th on UFC on Fox 31. Rob, thank you so much. Before you go, can you just say, hey, guys, it's Rob Font, and you're listening to Pure EVil MMA?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rob Font, and you're listening to Pure EVil MMA.
Thanks, Rob. Have a great night. Tell Joe I said what up. Tell Fabio I said what up, actually.
Yes, sir. I got you, homie.
All right, have a blessed night, and we're wishing you best of skill.
My man, have a good one, bro.
You too. There we go, guys. Rob Font, UFC vet. How many years should you be in the UFC until considered a vet? He's going on to his 5th year, guys, and they keep giving him these awesome fights. Thomas Almeida, he's going in there, beating Thomas Almeida. He's got 2 performance of the night bonuses, and once again, another East Coast fighter. Let's not forget, this guy was the featherweight champion for CES. Do you guys realize that some of the other bantamweight champions, we had Dennis Sweetbread, who trains a couple miles away out in Massachusetts. He recently lost to Andre Ewell, who recently fought Renan Barão in the UFC and beat Renan Barão. There's some big names coming out of CES right now. Mallory Martin was supposed to fight for CES. We just saw her on Invicta FC. She's another one. I ran into her this weekend. She was cornering Janaid, and I'm going to be getting Janaid on the show I think she said this weekend she's going to be able to call in. She just beat Conor McGregor's training partner, Sinead Kavanaugh. I believe that. Sinead Kavanaugh. Coach John Kavanaugh was there as well at Bellator. And if you guys missed it, I did the Bellator 207 vlog and recap show where we relived all the best moments of Bellator 207 through my Instagram. No other media member out there is doing what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a personal vlog, which pretty much you guys take a trip with me. You're like, you get to see behind the scenes on media row, on press row, at these big events like Bellator 207, the day after. So that was on Friday, and what an amazing night. Matter of fact, Mikey Kimball, before he was on Arrows Hawani's show, I ran into him not just Friday night, but also Saturday night at Ammo Fight League at a completely different fight promotion. He was just literally sitting back there by the DJ. I turned around. I caught him on the vlog, too. I literally turned around. I went, is that Mikey Kimball over there with the DJ? He's just sitting there on his iPhone X. I went up. I did an interview with him, which you guys can check out in the new vlog that I did, the Ammo Fight League 5 vlog, which was a lot. Literally, I cried after I edited it. The best vlog I've ever put together. I'd really recommend, if you've been tuning into Pure EVil MMA, even if you're new, go check that out. I'm really proud of that. Mitch Raposo stars in it. I go backstage with him, take a walk with him. I clip together all the highlights of the night, and it's just magic. Nick Newell was there, Justin Sumner, Eddie George we did the interview with, Carlton Little. Bill Vigil was there in a crazy tuxedo. It was a lot of fun, guys, and you can relive it all through the vlog. It's like you're literally there, like you had a ticket. There's even a part where this drunk guy gets kicked out, and you can't see that on the vlog. You have to go watch that on the reaction, which starts at the 56-minute mark on the weekend recap, which went down Sunday night, which I did right here. Matter of fact, I'm not even in studio. The studio is downstairs. We're actually in another place. I feel a little bit more comfortable here, just to kind of let loose with the interviews. I felt a good vibe up here on Sunday night, and I'm feeling a great vibe up here now. So gotta have the vibe, you know what I mean? For the best, I promise you guys the best of the best with me. And if I'm feeling a good vibe up here, that's where you're gonna see me. You're gonna see me where I'm feeling the best. So that's why we're up here. Matter of fact, if I turn the camera around, we got the candles going. We do have the rats on the table. Some of y'all might skeeve that. Phoenix passed out on the couch. Fifi! Was good, girl. Where's Oscar? I don't know where Oscar's at. Oh, there he is. He's over there on the, you see him? There he is. Then we got the PA system over here set up. So yeah, and then obviously the big screen TV where I watch a lot of the YouTube channels. But guys, I really want to thank Rob FONT for joining us tonight on the Pure EVil MMA live stream. This was a big interview. His fight December 15th. I'm really looking forward to it. He shuts down all the big names. It seems like the UFC tries matching them up to be like, all right, let's see if you can get past Rob. And the fighters can get past Rob. Like, Rob is just learning and learning, getting better and better. 2 fight of the night bonuses, guys. That's huge in the UFC. That is fucking huge in the UFC. So before we end today's live stream, I want to make sure that you guys follow me on Twitter, where you guys can interact with me, talk about some MMA news. You can follow me at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Also on Instagram, because that's, you know, where everyone's at in 2018, at Pure EVil MMA_. That is my new account because the UFC shut me down from my other account. They were going around literally just clearing out the fields of people that were reposting anything UFC. So now I got this new account. I got to start back from zero. So if you were following me before and were like, what the fuck? Where did he block me? I did not block you. I did have some people that were like, did you? And I felt so bad because that is not the situation. It made me look so bad. I lost a couple thousand followers. I was having a couple hundred people every day watch the stories. And now it's just diminished. So guys, make sure you hop over on the Instagram. We got to regrow that channel. Also on Facebook at Pure EVil MMA S. That's at PUREEVIL MMA lowercase s. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure EVil MMA, journalist from MyMMAnews.com. I am thinking about opening up my own website, guys. Just PureEvilMMA.com. Let me know what you think about that. Comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's interview. I will see you guys next time. Remember, white knuckles to the end.